Good morning, everyone. So in the last class, we are trying to discuss with our string related methods here. So in that method, we identified caret method, so equals method, equals ignore sketch method, and two char array. Cutting the point. So some of the methods we discussed in the previous class here. So today we are going to discuss another important methods which are available inside our string class here. Getting the point. So these are the very important methods we need to understand here. So the remaining methods here today we are going to discuss here. So in the remaining method, first we need to understand here. Let me go to the string class. So inside this particular string class, if you observe, we are having starts with method. Getting the point. So this particular start with method, now you can see it is a overloaded method. It is a overloaded method. The first one which is expecting string, and the second one you can see string with int parameter. The string with int parameter. So these are the overloaded method we are having, the start with method. So basically, what is the purpose of this particular start with method? Right. So basically, whenever we are trying to work for the string here, if the given string is going to start with the existing string or not, to find out the whether the string is going to start, so based on the given string here. So for example, now understand here, let me close other classes here. Basically, now you can understand here, this is our str1, right? So this is our str1. With the help of this particular str1, now what I'm trying to write here, observe carefully here. Start with, correct the point. So here it is expecting prefix here. The prefix I'm going to add like this here. Cutting the point. So str start with 4. If this particular string, if it is going to start with this particular 4 here, so this particular start with method will return true, because the str1 is starting with our 4 string. So carefully observe, if I'm going to print this particular str, if I'm going to print this particular str1, now you need to understand so what exactly the str we are going to get. So one second, Eclipse is a little bit slow. Observe here 4, carrying the point, 4:4. Right, now what you are understanding is, so whatever the string we given, which is located at line number 36 here, so this particular string is starting with the 4 string. 4 is a string message here. Getting the point. How what I'm doing is, so with the help of this particular start with method, if I'm trying to add any prefix here, so to find out whether this particular given string, the whether this particular highlighted string is starting with this particular string message or not. Getting the point. So now if it is starting here, this particular method will return true. So observe, if I'm trying to print this particular section within println method, within this particular println method. Now we need to understand the last println method here. So now we can understand here, true is printing. So why it is printing true? Because this particular str1 string, so which is starting this particular string message, carrying the point. So this is very important here. So to find out some scenarios, now what we need to do, we need to identify whether this particular given string, so is going to start, so based on this particular message or not, we can understand with help of this particular start with method. Getting the point. So same way, we are going to have end with method. We are going to have end with method. So if you observe, this is our end with method. What happened? So this is only be given, right? But why it is giving an error? Okay. Observe here end with method. So the end with also I'm trying to work for the 4. So now you can see this particular end with is going to return false. The end with is returning false here. So why it is returning false? Because the given string is not ending with this particular 4 here. The given string is not ending with 4 here. So which is ending with this 4 here, numeric 4 here. Cutting the point. So this is very important here. So understand here, start with and end with method here. Now you can see both methods are returning true. So this is the start with method and this is the end with here. The start is starting from the 4 and which is ending 4 here. Getting the point. So these are the very important method. So basically in the real time, so we are going to understand how these particular methods are going to work. Getting the point. Now we try to focus on the other method. And so we need to focus one more method we are having inside this particular start with here. Now you can see to start with these are the two methods we are having. Observe here now what we can understand here. So start with method is the overloaded method. It is a overloaded method. So which is expecting string is a like one parameter and the second method along with string parameter which is expecting int parameter. Getting the point. So if I'm going to define here, now observe here, if I'm going to define here, so we need to understand here, again, let me provide here the 4, but here now the second parameter, what happens internally? So that the start index is going to specify the, getting the point. So it's going to specify the, from the, so which index onwards we need to search for the string here. And the second one here from the, sorry, so from this particular string, which index onwards we need to start here. So if I'm going to start from the 1, so we'll see what happens internally. Observe this particular method also will return boolean value. Getting the point. So this particular method also will return boolean value. Now we can understand here how it's going to work here. So this particular start with, now you can see, so which is returning false, which is returning false here. So now you can understand here, if I'm going to make 0, if I'm going to make 0, now you can see, so which is returning true. Getting the point. Now what you are understanding here, so focus on the second method. So otherwise what we can do, we'll comment out the remaining methods here. Now, so whenever I'm trying to change this particular index number, first or second here, we are getting false here. We are getting false here. Now you can see this particular println is returning false. But if I'm going to change to the 0, which is returning, so which is returning true here. Now what you are understanding regarding this particular start with method? So basically, what I want to cover here, so this particular string, getting the point. So here we are giving from the which index onwards we need to search here. Getting the point. From the which index onwards we need to search here. So if I'm going to remove this particular f here, so now you can understand here. Again, so this will fail here. Again, this is failing here. Basically, this 0, getting the point. This particular 0 is going to point to the str1. Getting here. This 0 is going to point to the str1. So in the str1, in the 0, we are having f but 2. So what is the string we are trying to find out here? So our. The f we removed here. The f we removed here. So this particular 0 is not matching with the given string here. The given string. Getting the point. So this is very important we need to understand here. So basically what we can identify here, so whatever the string we are trying to find out, so this is very important here, which index onwards we want to find out here. Getting the point. Which index onwards we want to find out also, we need to provide the information. So this is the second method which is expecting into parameter. Into parameter is nothing but from the which index onwards we are trying to search the given string here. Getting the point. Now you can understand here, if I'm going to change to the 1, if I'm going to change to the 1, now you can see, so this will return true here. Getting the point. So this is returning true. So this is very important. We need to understand the start with method. So which is not taking any like other than this particular string parameter. So which is taking one more method along with the string parameter and one int parameter. So these are the two overloaded methods we are having in our string class. Getting the point. And finally, we are having end with method. So we need to understand whether the string is going to start from this particular given message or not. Same way, whether this particular string is going to end with this particular message or not, we can check here. So if it is ending, we'll get an a true. If it is not ending, we'll get an a false. And if it is starting, so based on this particular string message, so it's going to return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Otherwise, it will return false here. Carrying the point. Now, so we need to understand the compare to method. Carrying the point. So we are having one more method. So we need to check for the compare to method. How this particular compare to method is going to work. So observe here, compare to method we are having, which is expecting string as a parameter. Carrying the point. So compare to method we are having, which is expecting string as a parameter here. So now you can see, so this is expecting string as a parameter and it is returning int. Getting the point. And it is returning int parameter, like int data type as a return type here. Now we need to focus very carefully how this particular, getting the point, how this particular, so compare to method is going to work. Let me see any message we are having here regarding this particular compare to. No. Okay. So we'll try to check for the compare to method here. So basically, so this particular compare to method, as we discussed, which is trying to return the integer value. So if it is a less than 0, getting the point. If it is a less than 0, so the string, it is not equals to like it is a less than to another string. And if it is a greater than, we can understand here the value, whatever the string we are going to compare. So both are the greater than. So to understand here, now what we can do, so I want to create Okay. Observe here, I want to create, so in the main method level, I can go for the static string and I'm trying to create a string array. I'm trying to create string array. So some values I want to create here. So now is the some some strings I'm trying to add. Okay, up to this enough here. Getting the point. So this is the string we added like a string array. So using this particular string array, now what we are going to write here, we'll try to check for the compare method. So how exactly the compare methods are going to work. So to understand this particular compare method, now what we can do, so we need to write the two loops here. Getting the point. We need to define the two loops here. So into j is equals to 0, or we can I is equals to 0, and I less than ARR dot length here. Carrying the point. ARR dot length I plus plus. So this is the first loop here, and I'm going to create one more loop here. Into j is equals to I plus 1, and here also we need to check the condition. So j less than AR dot length. So j plus plus. Getting the point. So this is all about the second loop we are trying to create here. So now we created two loops here. So what I'm trying to write here, if you observe, from this particular ARR, I'm trying to provide the I value. I'm trying to provide the, so here we can provide the j. Oh no, so this is the correct only. We need to provide the I. Compared to, here we need to provide the, so j value. Getting the point. Now we can understand here, this section of code very important, we need to understand. So ARR I. ARR is coming from the this and I. So I is nothing but we are trying to provide the index here. Index here because so this is an array. So this is an string array we created. Getting the point. So this is very important here. We need to focus more onto the ARR I and J both are going to work for the index locations. And after this, now what I'm trying to write here, I need to check less than 0. I need to check less than 0. So if it is less than 0, so we can print what is the less than 0 values we are having. Carrying the point. So what is the less than values we are having here? Observe. So just for understanding the compare method, how it is going to work. So I'm trying to print here. ARR I J. Getting the point. And here one more else if so else if we can take here and I want to copy the same condition, and here instead of less than 0 I want to make greater than 0. Here also I want to print the value ARR, and here the message important here. So this particular thing is coming from the which section of code. So this is coming from the this section of code, and so this method will print, right? And we can take here so another one equals to 0, equals to 0. Getting the point? Because the comparative method will provide so these many values here. ARRJ. Getting the point? Now we can see. So this is the condition less than 0 and greater than 0 or equal. So here if the comparative method is less than to the the ARRI is less than to this particular ARRJ. So here I and j both are pointing to the index location. So if it is a index 0, now if we load this particular string message now. So if it is 2, it will load 0, 1, 2. So this particular string message will load. Getting the point? So based on these are the index locations, the appropriate string is going to load here. Getting the point? So don't confuse, because so we defined multiple example on this particular arrays concepts here. Okay. So now you can see if this particular ARRI is less than to this particular ARRJ, so this particular condition will satisfy, and this particular message will print. So we'll see how this particular section of code is going to work. I'm trying to put a breakpoint and I'm trying to debug this particular example here. Observe. Okay. Now you can see so this particular ARR code. Carrying the pen in the 0 location, now it is stored in the 1th location. So first is string and second, third, fourth, carrying the pen. So this is the way the string messages is stored in the different location up to the 10 here. Carrying the pen. So the left side section is providing index values, and the right side section it's providing the appropriate string message. Carrying the pen. Now you can see the length we are having 10. So the error length also it will satisfy here. Now we need to understand here. Now we need to understand here. Let's say it's returning true. So why it is returning true? So we need to check what is the comparative value is returning here. Now you can see minus 27. The comparative which is trying to return minus 27. Getting the point? Minus 27. If it is returning minus 27, it is a less than 0. Getting the point? So minus value will be less than to 0 only, right? So now this is very important. If it is less than 0, the entire expression is satisfying here. Now you can see the condition returning true. If the condition written is true, so we'll enter into the particular block of code. Observe here. Is. So what is a string message we are having? So that is called is. Carrying the point. So that is we are trying to print is. Okay. Now it's the condition is satisfied. Again, it's moving into the next iteration here. Now you can see. So we are having next iteration. So the j is equals to 0. Sorry, j value will become to I value 0. So now you need to understand here. So this also it is returning true. So why this time also it's returning? We need to check here this particular message. Minus 38. Minus 38 we are getting here. Right. So because of this particular minus value, again it will go for the, again it will try to return the true here. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to go for the compare to. So we need to see how this particular compare to method will returning the minus value, like minus values are other values it's printing or not. Let's see. Now we are inside the compare to method. So observe, we are inside the string class. Getting the file. Now this is very important here. This is the string class. Compare to method we are calling. And what is the another string we are passing? So that is called time. That is called time we are passing here. And what is the current string here? Now you can see now. The current string we are passing now here. The another string we are having time. So here we are having two strings here. We need to understand this, how this particular compare to method is working. Okay, observe here, we are trying to load another string value. What are the another string value we are getting? So these are the values, like it is a, so Unicode values we are getting for this particular given string. T is located in the 116, I is located in the 105, M is located in the 109, so E is located in the 101. Okay, now so these are about the the Unicode values of the given string. Okay, now the coder I am trying to get, and if the coder is equals to the another string or not, we need to check here. What happened here? So why evaluation must contain expression or block-up. Okay, so we'll see that what is the coder we are getting here? 0, and we need to think about the another coder. Okay, so maybe here we are not getting recording this particular another. Okay, so here also we are getting 0. So another string dot coder, this is also returning 0. So both are will equal here. If it is equal, now you can see what is the Latin one we are getting 0. So based on this particular compare to method, we are getting the value here. Now you can see, so this is the another class. This is the another class which is defined by the our Sun Microsystem people. So what is the information we are having? So let me move inside this particular compare to method. Now observe, we are inside the compare to method, right? So this is the byte array and another one. Now you can see this is the current string called now, and this is the another string called time. So the values are been providing the information. So these are the 4. It is a time value, and this particular value we are having only 3. So now we can consider it is a now string. Correct the point. Now you can see length values they are checking here. So length we are getting 3, and this length 2 we are getting 4. So based on this particular, again internally one more compare to method is calling. So let me move to the another compare to method. Observe here. Observe here. So math.min. Math.min. So here again we are calling min method. So what is doing here? The min method. So to understand the min method, now I want to move inside this particular min method. So we are inside the math class. Java.lang.math class. Carrying the point. So what is the A value? A value we are having 3, and the B value we are having 4. So now you can see if this particular A less than or equals to B. Carrying the point. A less than or equals to B. So this particular section of code is satisfying or not. A less than or equals to B. So what you are expecting is whether this block of code is returning true or false. I just want to know what you are trying to think here. So what is the highlighted code? like this section of code will return true or false. Now you can see the right side section values we are having. So based on this particular value, now we can provide what your output here. So what you are trying to think here. So just message me what you are trying to think here. Okay. So this expression which is trying to return true because less than or equals to b. A value we are having 3 and b value we are having 4. So b value it is a greater like some bigger value compared to the our a value. So if it is returning true because this is the ternary operator. Getting the point. This is the ternary operator. So we already identified in the previous example. So this particular expression will return true, will return the after question mark, whatever the value we are having. So if it is this particular expression will return false, we'll go for the this particular b value. Okay. Now the main value will returning 3. Now you can see the int limit we are getting 3. The int limit we are getting 3. Okay, now we understand here this particular loop will try to repeat 3 times here. So this particular loop will try to repeat 3 times here because the condition we are having 3. Okay, now so we need to understand the what is the k value. K value we are having 0. K value we are having 0. So in the value K0 78, in the other one we are having 116. So this particular condition will return true. The if condition is returning true. So if it is returning true, now what we can understand here, so get char method. Getting the point. So we need to focus on the get char method. So the get char method, it's returning character. So based on this particular value here. Getting the point. Based on this particular get char method, so it will try to return the appropriate integer value. Observe here. We need to understand the how this particular get char method is working here. So value we are passing here. So value is nothing but one byte array we are passing, right? And k value. K is nothing but the current index value. Let's see. So this is our carrier. So based on this particular value, now understand here. So what is the value we are having here? Something called 78. So in the 78, what is the character is located? So the character we are returning. Getting the point. So what is the character is located? We'll try to return the character. Now you can understand here. So what is the character we are returning here? Something called n. Something called n. Okay. Here, this particular char method returning n. And the same way, if I'm going to copy this particular get char, here we'll try to get an a t here. Here we are getting t. Now, so we are doing subtract. So what is the value we are having? Based on this particular value, we are trying to subtract the value from the get char. Getting the point. We are doing the minus operation here. Okay. So based on this two, what is the value we are getting here? Now you can understand minus 38. Minus 38 we are getting here. So this is the way the compare to method is working internally. So this is the code, whatever the code we are seeing right now. This is the internal behavior of the compare to method. So this is very important here. So if we want to write any custom compare to method, first we need to think about the how this particular compare to method is working internally. So based on that, we can define the custom compare to method. Getting the point. So these are about the compare to methods. Okay. Now you can understand here. So it's trying to return the minus 38 value. Okay. So back to here, we're coming back to from the compare to method. So this particular lat is returning. So this is the value we are getting here, something called minus 38. So minus 38 is less than to 0. So because of that, it is printing this message called time. Right? Now you can understand here. So this also compared to, so like let's see. So can we write a get char value k instead of others? Yeah, we can define. So directly we can define get char, but here we are getting the character. So the character value we need to convert it into the int. So this is also fine. But here we need a loop here. R. So basically value k, we are trying to find out the character value, the first character value. Getting the point. The first character, if it is equal, what we can do, we need to check for the another one. Because of that, so they implemented loop here. Okay. So instead of checking the min value like math.min, so we can define directly this two and we can write the particular compare to method. Okay. So basically the math.min method is trying to provide to reduce the iteration of the loop. Okay. Observe here. So we are checking. Now you can see. So another one which is trying to check greater than condition we received. So as of now, all are coming as a less than here. So these are the coming as a less than, but we identified this particular section of code is returning greater value. Correct in the point. So how it is written the greater value? So based on that, the get char method will get a positive values. So instead of negative values. So whenever we are getting the positive values, so this particular section of code will satisfy. This particular section of code will satisfy and it will print. Now you can see, so one more less than condition and again the less than condition. So again we are having the less than condition. So this is the way we need to understand the comparative method, whether it is working for the less than or greater than, or we can check for the equal condition. Now you can see, so these two are the greater conditions and these are the less than conditions. Again, now we can check these are the greater conditions. Getting the point. So this is the way we can understand the comparative method. So some of the methods we are getting greater and some of the methods we are getting less than. Right. So any questions regarding this particular comparative method? Okay. So now we'll try to check for the other methods here. Like instead of this particular loop concepts here, simple example we can define here. So that we already identified here. Now you can see, so this is our string I'm having here. So this is the another simple example here. Str dot compare to, here I want to provide another thing, something called old. So now you can see this particular compile to whether it is returning true or false. So we can make the conditions here, we can print here. So just for one object here. So this is only for one object here. So again, this also we need to check here. we can make less than 0. And if it is less than 0, so we can define whatever the code we want to write. And if it is greater than 0, so we can write the code. Or if it is equals to 0, so we can write so the appropriate logic here. Getting the point. Only that we need to focus here. So whether the comparative method based on the like less than or greater than and equals. So based on these three conditions here, we need to define the logic here. Getting the point. So we doesn't know like what is the value we are going to get based on these two conditions, based on this particular string and the another string this. Getting the point. Okay. So we'll check for the another method here. The another method we are having index of and lost index of. Basically, index of method will try to return the first occurrence of the character or our substring here. So to find out the character information, we can go for this particular so index of method here. So the simple one here. So inside this particular println str is our string object here, which is located line number 18 and str dot index of. Getting the point. So index of method which is trying to load the particular character here. So we can understand here. So how many times like what is the first index of this particular given character here. Let's see. So how we can define this particular character here. So I want to find out this particular h here and comment out this particular loop. So careful observe here the index of method. So I'm giving h here. So h is our first character. Getting the point. H is our first character. So now you can see the index of method is trying to return into data type here. Into data type here. Okay. So that we are going to get number values. 0. 0. Now what you are understanding here? So this section of character like this whatever the character we given, so which is resides in the 0 location. Which is resides in the 0 location. Okay. Now so what I want to understand here, yes I want to check. Yes I want to check. Let's see how this particular s value is going to return. 4 we are getting here. 4 we are getting here. So now you can check here. H is located in 0. So E is located in first location and space will located in second location. So I is located in the third location and S is located in the fourth location. Getting the point. So this is all about to find out the given character index location. Whether this particular character is located in the which index location, we can go for the index of method. And the same way, we are having lost index of. Last index of. Now you can see, so at this time, we are going to get to different output here. So previously, we got 4. Now we are getting 12 here. Now we are getting 12 here. So why we are getting 12 now here? Basically, we are trying to find out the last index of the index value of the given character here. Getting the point? We need to understand what is the last index value of the particular given character. So here you can check here. So this is the fourth character we identified. The space will become fifth, and here also this space will become 6 here, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this particular rest we are getting 11 only. And here we need to check here this particular 9. So this particular, if we're going to include this particular 9, so this particular S will resides in the index location called 12. Getting the point? So this particular S will located in the particular location called 12. So this is the purpose of this particular lost index of to find out the given character. So what is the lost index, right? So this is all about the index of method and lost index of method, and we need to understand the substring method. Getting the point? So basically this particular substring method, what it will do, it will try to create a one more string object here. So based on from the which index onwards we want to copy here. Based on which index onwards we want to copy. So observe here, if I'm going to copy str dot substring here. Now you can see substring is a overloaded method. Substring is a overloaded method. Now you can understand here into begin index. From the which index number onwards we want to copy. Carrying the point. From the which index number we want to copy. So this is the first method is trying to provide the information. And the second method here, now you can see from the which index onward we want to copy and up to what is the index onward we want to copy. Right. So this is the begin index and end index. So between the what are the characters we are going to have? So those characters we are going to copy and we'll create another string here. So observe substring here. If I'm going to provide 4. If I'm going to provide 4 here, now you can understand here. So this is the another string we are having. If I'm going to print this particular another string, so this is the another string I'm trying to print. So which is a line number 21. Carefully observe here the line number 21. Now you can see. So this is the another string. Now what you are understanding is from the 4th index onwards. Getting the point. From the 4th index onwards, we are trying to copy the remaining string object here. So what is the 4th index here? From the S. S is we already identified, which is located in the 4th index. We'll try to copy the remaining object here, the string object here. Okay. So now you can see if I'm going to provide 12. If I'm going to provide 12, so you need to think very carefully because this is the another substring method. So what is doing here? Now you can see. So between the message, between the string object, whatever the string object we are having between the 4 to 12. 4 to 12. So the string we are copying and we are creating one more object here. Getting the point? So this is all about the two substring methods here. The first one, so the first one here we provided only begin index. So the default one for the end index is a 0. Getting the point? If I want to provide this particular substring, now you can see. So this is the okay. Directly we came for this. Where is another one? Okay. So instead of searching here, now what I can do, I will remove inside this particular string class. Observe here, this is a begin index here. So now you can see carefully, this particular substring method does not have end index here. Right? Now what happens? If this particular is less than 0, so it's going to throw an exception. Now you can see, so we are getting the length and they are doing some subtraction on the begin index. So we are getting sub length here. We are getting a sub length here. Why we are getting the sub length? Because we need to create one more string. So to create another string here, we need to get a length. So how many the character we want to store, we need to get a length here. So if you observe any object, any string object we are creating in the string class, So all are converting into the array format only. Correct the point. All are converting into the array format. So now we already discussed the array concepts here. We need to create the size. We need to create the array size to initialize the values here. So because of that, they are creating. This is the size they are going to create. Okay. Observe. If it is less than 0, we may get any exception. And if it is equals to 0, this will return the current object. So otherwise, so they are checking here. So if it is, this is a Latin. If it is a Latin, it will call this particular new string, and these are the values, begin index, and the sub length here. So based on this particular new string, they are creating new string object, and they will return the newly created string object. So this is a substring with one parameter. Substring with one parameter. We'll go for the another substring here, another parameter. Now you can see. So here we are having two here. So directly what they are doing here. So end to index minus begin index. So previously what we check here, length minus begin index. Correct the point. So length minus begin index, the previous for like the previous substring method they implemented. Now, so what is the end index we are getting, and what is the begin index? Based on that, we are going to create the sub length, and so if it is all this condition will satisfy, we will return the current object. So otherwise, again they are calling the same new string method, but here only the difference is some logic is implemented different here. Correct the point. Some logic is implemented different. So this is all about the substring method. So any questions regarding this particular substring? So basically what I want to provide here, so we don't have much information in the implementation class also. So because we already identified the basic implementation they implemented here. So these are the conditions and the variables they declare, and they are doing subtraction here. Killing the point. So they are calling the method. So inside this particular method also, they will check the condition. Now you can see, so they are checking the greater than or less than, or now we can understand the or condition. So everything we already discussed in the basic concepts here. So if you understand if you're familiar with the basic concept, now you can see easily we can implement so any method, what are the methods provided by the string class. So same way we can implement the method in our custom purpose. Like we can create some string test class, correct the point, and we can implement all the methods here, right? So basically, why I'm trying to provide the internal concepts here. So we may get a chance to implement some the custom classes and the custom methods. So based on this particular string or any collection classes, so this is the time to check for the internal code, how they are implementing it and how they are checking the conditions here. Right. So back to here, before going to start the another method. So any questions here regarding this particular substring? Okay. Now we'll start to we'll try to think about the other method. So the other method called concat method. So basically, in the previous example, we already implemented. So here now you can see this is the string, this is the int variable here. The int variable we are having age here, and we are trying to append in between the string here. This is the string we are trying to append, and this is also another string we are trying to append. So between these two here, these two strings here, now what we are doing is we are trying to append our integer data type here, right? So it's nothing but we are trying to concat with two string between the integer data type. So same way we are having one method here. Same way we are having one method here. So what is the method we are having here? the method we are having here str dot concat here. Now you can see, so this is the concat method we are having. What is doing here? So which is expecting another string here. If I'm going to add another string here, something called concat. Now I want to print this particular str. Let me comment out the remaining methods here. So observe here. Now you can see he is 9 years old. So why I'm not getting this particular concat? Getting the point. So to get the latest update here, we need to create a one more string here. The concat we need to pause here. Now observe. We are going to get. So he is a 9 years old and he is appended with a concat here. Now it is appended with our concat. So basically, string is a immutable object here. Once the object is created, so we cannot change here. So any changes is happen here, we need to create another string here. Another string here. So this is another string we created. So previously we are trying to work for the str. str is our existing object here. So the existing object is not going to modify. To get the latest changes here, we need to create another string here. Right. So this is the another string we created here, concat, and so the message we are getting, whatever the message we are trying to append here. Basically, this particular concat method, if we try to append end of the existing string here, carrying the point end of the existing here. So if we want to append with so like before the existing, what we can do. So this is the steps we can create. Like this section of code we are going to call it as a literal concept, string literal. We already discussed in the previous class. Getting the point. So based on this particular string literals here, we can add before the existing object here. Before the existing object here. So this is very important. We need to understand here. Okay. So this is the purpose of like to append the information to the existing object. We can go for the concat method. So same way replace method. So basically replace method is which is going to expecting here. So old character or new character. So what we want to pass here. Getting the point. So here what is the old character? In the old character place, what is the new character we want to pass? So this information we can provide here. So something now you can see. So this is our old character H, and I want to like pass with this particular small h. See, if I'm going to replace here, we'll see what is it's trying to return this particular replace. It will return string, and we'll try to go for this particular replace here and observe the last output. Focus on the last output here. Now you can see. So this is the old one. So this is the new one. Now you can see the replace method. So whatever the character we are having, so we replaced it with our small character. So previously we are having capital H. Now I converted into the small h. So this is the way we can replace the particular characters here, right? So this is the purpose of this particular replace method. So same way we'll have a the string purpose also we can go for the replace method. We can define the existing string and we can override the new string here. Carrying the point. So this is all about the string. And we have a most important method trim here. We're having most important method trim. So basically the trim method is going to remove the spaces here. It's going to remove the spaces here. So before the string and after the string, not between the string. Getting the point? So this is very important here. So this is very important. We need to understand here. So trim method I'm calling here, and here I'm trying to give space here. Now you can see. So before this string I'm giving the space, and after this string also I'm giving the space, right? And so this particular trim also is giving one more string object here. Observe here. Now you can see. So before before calling the trim, we are having the space, and now you can see here also we are having the space. So here you can check here concat. Now you can see here we are having the space. Here we are having the space here. But now you can see, so there is no space here. I'm trying to copy the space, but I'm unable to copy. Right. Now you can observe. So I'm copy the whole string object here. So it's remove the spaces here before the string and after the string. But now you can see between the string the spaces are it is available here. The between the string. So whatever the spaces we implemented, the spaces are available as it is here. Carrying the point. So what you understand here, the trim method purpose. So basically it will try to remove the spaces between the string and before the string and after the string. These are about the trim method purpose here. So any questions? The concat method and replace method and trim method. Anyone having any questions? Okay. So along with that, we are having some other concepts here, lowercase methods and uppercase method. So basically, what it will do, this particular lowercase methods and uppercase method, it will try to convert the entire string into the lowercase, or it will try to convert into the uppercase here. Okay. str dot to lowercase. Getting the point. Now observe. Sorry. So lowercase here. I want to print lowercase here. So the particular str, we need to understand here how this particular lowercase is going to work. So now you can see all the characters are converted into the lowercase. So previously we are having the y is in the uppercase. So the y also it's converted into the lowercase here. This particular y is converted into the lowercase here. Okay. So same way, if I'm going to convert here to uppercase here. Now you can see if I'm going to convert into uppercase here. So he is 9 years old. So this is converted uppercase. Cutting the point. So this is the way we can go for these two methods to convert the particular string either in the lowercase or uppercase here, because we are having two methods here. So this is all about the string methods which are available inside this particular string class. Cutting the point. So now, so any questions regarding about up to what we discussed so far here? So those are comes under the string class methods here. So let me know if anyone having any questions in the string class methods. We'll try to cover up one more time here. So before going to start, one more class related information. Okay. Now we identified the string class. Now it's a time to discuss our string buffer. Now you can see, so string buffer also available in the which class, which package here. So this is a java.lang package here. So this section of code is providing java.lang package is the package information, and this is the class information. Okay, so let me open this particular string buffer class. So now you can see this is also final class. This is also final class. So we already identified string also final class. So cannot be extended any class here. So this particular string class and string buffer classes, so those are not going to extend it to the any other classes here. Okay. Now, so this is implementing. So these are the classes information here. Okay. Now, what are the constructors we are having? Because whenever we are trying to work for the class information, so we need to understand the constructors. Why we need to understand the constructor? Because the constructors are going to provide the object creations here. Constructors are going to provide the object creations here. Now you can see, so these are the constructors here. So string buffer is a default constructor. Now observe, string buffer is a default constructor, so which is calling super 16. Super 16. So what is a 16 here? What is a 16 here? Cutting the point. It is a capacity. Now you can see here, initial capacity of characters. Initial capacity of character. Now what you are understanding in the string buffer class, whenever we are creating any string buffer class, so initially so we can store up to 16 characters here. Getting the point? Up to we can store 16 characters here. Getting the point? Now this is very important, we need to understand here. So this is very important here. So if the 16 characters are reached, what happens internally? So I want to use the default constructor, and I want to provide the more than 16 characters. So what happens internally, right? So basically the string buffer will have a functionality. So once the capacity will reach, getting the point, once this particular capacity will reach here, it will create a one more string buffer object here, and it will copy the existing object information into the newly created string buffer object here. Newly created string buffer object here. So this is very important, we need to understand here. Let's say, so where it is calling this particular super. So it is calling soft stack here. Now you can see, so based on this particular capacity, internally what object we are creating here. So what object new. So capacity is also here, it is working as a size of which which data type here. It is a byte data type. Getting the point? So before initializing, before inserting the data into this particular string buffer class, so we are creating byte array, and we are providing the information regarding this particular byte array. Okay. So we'll see within a simple example how this particular capacitors are everything going to work here. How this particular capacitor, everything is going to work. Okay, so we identified this is the default constructor, and this is the another constructor. So what exactly another constructor is having here? Now you can see explicitly you can provide the capacity. So instead of taking by default option, you can provide the capacity. So here you can provide the 5 or 10 or 25, whatever you want. So based on our requirement, we can provide the new capacity. Right. So once a capacity will provide, what happens internally? Now you can see string buffer. So this is also another constructor which is expecting string as a parameter. String as a parameter. Now what you are understanding here? So whenever we are providing string as a parameter here, now what we can understand here, how this particular capacity will create. How this particular capacity will create here. So observe, if I'm going to see the super information, so this is all about the another string we are calling here. Carrying the point. This is another string we are calling, and we are trying to find out the length. So whatever the string we are going to provide, based on this particular string, we'll try to understand the length here. Now you can see here we are having the condition. Here we are having the condition. So length less than integer dot max value minus 16. Minus 16. So what is the 16 here? So it is a default capacity. Right. So if the max value, carrying the point. So this particular, now you can understand here. Now what we are doing here, integer dot max value. So we are going to find out this max value, and we are doing here some subtraction here. Carrying the point. So if this particular, after subtraction this particular value, after this particular subtraction, whatever the value we are going to get, the particular value is less than 2, this particular length here. Now what happens internally? It will return length plus 16. Length plus 16 here. Right. So otherwise, so it will return this particular max value. So whatever the value we are returning, so this is taking as a capacity. So this is taking as a capacity. Getting the point. So this is very important here. So the first two constructors we identified, the default constructor which is providing the 16 capacity, the second constructor we identified. So explicitly we can provide the capacity, but whenever we are trying to work for the string buffer, string constructor, like a string as a parameters constructor. So in that case here, this is the logic here we need to understand. So first we are loading the given string length, and the length we are checking if the less than to this particular value, we are trying to append with this particular length plus 16. So if it is a length 5, so we are going to get 5 plus 16. So it will become 21. The capacity will become 21. So we can insert up to 21 elements here. So once the 21 elements are reached here, again new string buffer object is going to create. Okay. So this is all about the constructors here. This is all about the constructors here. Let's see. We'll create a simple example here. Let me change the core Java 7 inside the com.string package. String buffer test. I want to take as a main method. Right. And here, so SB is equals to string buffer. Right. So string buffer SB is equals to new string buffer. Now SB dot. So these are the append method. So basically how we identify the concat method. So same way we are having append method. So these are the different data types. Now we can pass int, float, double, char, and boolean. So everything we can pass here. So these are the some overloaded method we are having here. And now you can see caret. So already we discussed this particular caret method, because so it will try to return the character. So based on the index location here. So based on this particular index location here. Right. So we'll understand after creating this particular object. So what happens internally? What happens internally? Right. And hello, I want to specify SB dot length I want to check. The length I want to find out. So between this particular println method and so one more SB dot capacity. SB dot capacity. So I need to find out the two information here. So 5 and 21 here. Getting the point. So just now discussed about this particular so string constructor here. Now we can understand here the length, why the length we are getting 5 and why this particular capacity is returning 21 here. Getting the point. So basically length is basically the length is how many characters we are having. So inside this particular string, so it's going to provide the length here. So capacity is nothing but how many elements we can store inside this particular string buffer object here. Getting the point. How many elements we can store? So inside this particular string buffer, so this section of code is going to provide the capacity information. Right. Getting the point. So this is very important. We need to understand the difference between length and capacity here. So after this, now what we can understand here, ensure capacity. So we are having ensure capacity here. So this particular ensure capacity here, it will provide the information. So we can provide the explicit capacity. Observe here SB dot ensure capacity. So which is expecting integer parameter. Now we can provide. So what is the capacity we want to create here? Carrying the point. So I created ensure capacity and after this I'm trying to call the same capacity method. So now observe what happens internally. Now you can see, so these are the two coming from these two println methods, and finally the line number 10 I'm trying to print this particular capacity. Now you can see, so this is a 245 capacity we are getting. So up to 245 elements we can insert into this particular string buffer class. Getting the point. So same way we are going to have the option to provide the length also. Getting the point. So we are having length also option here. SB dot set length. Getting the point. So I want to give as a length as a 78. If I'm going to print this particular length here, now we can understand here how this particular length and capacities are going to print here. So observe the default length and default capacity overridden with the set length method as well as ensure capacity. Getting the point. So this is the way we can work with the string buffer class here, and we identified here caret method. So here I want to give second here, because with this particular caret method already we discussed in the string related concepts methods. Now observe the same method is also available in our string buffer class. If I am going to call this particular caret method, the last one we can understand here, which is trying to return L here. So this H will resides in the 0 location. This particular E will resides in the first location. The current L will resides in the second location here. So that is given the second index location. We are getting whatever the character which resides in the second location, that is called L. So along with that, what we can do, we can provide the one more method, something called SB dot set caret. SB dot set caret. And here now what we can do, can specify the index and character here. So now you can see this particular index here, what is providing information. The first parameter is providing the index here. So where we want to insert this particular character. So I want to insert this particular character in the third location. So what is the character I want to insert here? So something called T. Getting the point. And after this, I want to call the SB. If I'm going to call this particular string buffer object here, now we can see whether this particular, the newly added character is appended or not. Now you can see, so this is our output here. Basically, this is our string here. But why we are getting this empty information? Because the capacity we are having, sorry, the length we are having here, 78 here. Carrying the point. The length we are having 78. So these are the empty information is storing here. These are the empty information is storing here. Getting the point. So this is very important here. Whenever we are trying to provide the explicit capacity as well as explicit length here. So we may get this kind of problems here. But now focus here. So set caret method. This particular set caret method, what is doing here? It is trying to set the character based on the third index location. So it's providing, it's trying to like overriding the previous element here. Because already we are having the previous element here. So this previous element is override with the current element called T. Getting the point. So this is the way we can check for the set caret method and caret method. So we already identify the get char method. Getting the point. So we don't want to discuss about the get char method. Observe here in the string class we already discussed here get char method. Now you can see get char method. So same way which is going to expect here in our string buffer class. Let me open our get char method. See here get char and get bytes here. Both are the data type is different but parameters are same here. Carrying the point. Data type is different here. The purpose is both the purpose is same. Right? So this section of code we already discussed in our previous class. We don't want to discuss here. So append also we identified here. If I'm going to append with another example, let's see. So I want to comment out this section of codes here. Up to this I want to comment out. And here sb dot append here. Here I want to check for this string here. I don't want to go for the boolean or other data type because we are trying to work for the string data type. And append here. Right. So once we append here, now what we can do, I'm trying to find out whether this particular the string message appending or not. Now you can understand here. So allow and append. Whatever the append is appending here. How we are appending? With help of this particular append method here. Getting the point. In the string class we are having concat method. In the string buffer class we are having append method. Getting the point. So these are the difference between the name is different but the purpose is same here. So both the purpose is same here. Getting the point. But instead of working with the concat, so the string buffer class is provided the method called append here. Okay, now so another method we need to discuss here, insert method. So basically this particular insert method, now you can see, so now you can understand here insert method which is expecting two parameters. So why it is expecting two parameters here? So now if I understand here offset here, offset is nothing but in the which index location we want to insert this particular string object here. So the insert index location I want to provide, so around here. So before going to insert I want to first to print the length here. I want to print this particular length here. So after printing the length, so I can provide the object information here. I can provide the object information where we can insert this particular insert method. So it is providing 12. Now here I want to provide in the 13 location I want to I want to provide as a, so this particular insert information. I want to add the message called insert here. And after this, now you can understand here, I'm trying to run the same application. Okay. So we cannot insert because the length we are having 12. So between the length only, we can insert this particular offset here. Okay, let me change the length, the insert 12 here. If I'm going to run one more time, here, now we can understand here. So allow, append and insert here. So the length is increased to the 19 here. Because we are inserting string object, it is not a character here. So if it is a character, it will reside in the 12th location. The 12th location, whatever the character we are having, so it's going to override. But here, what we are doing here, we are trying to insert the string object here. Getting the point? Whenever we are trying to insert this particular string object here, now what happens internally? So again, we need to increase the length here. So the length is increased automatically. So my suggestion here, whenever we are trying to work for the any method, so check for the how the functionality is working, like how the functionality is implemented. So in our string class or string buffer class, so that we can understand how this particular each and every methods are working internally. Okay. So along with this particular append and insert method, we are having reverse method. Here. Getting the point? So whenever we are calling this particular reverse method, now we can see so how this particular object is going to reverse here. How this particular object is going to reverse here. So now you can see, so this is our hello append insert here, but now you can see the reverse method, how it is returning the given string here. Getting the point? So this is very important method here, the reverse method. So try to find out the reverse method, how it is working here. So same way, we are going to have sb dot delete method. Now we can provide the delete information between these two start and index. So between how many characters we want to delete. So we can go for this particular delete method here. So based on this particular start index and end index here, the appropriate elements are going to remove here. So this is all about the delete method here. Now, so substring. So substring we already discussed in our string class. The same substring functionality is going to work in our string buffer class. Getting the point? The same functionality is going to work for our string buffer class. So we don't want to discuss one more time here. So same way, only the two methods we are going to have. Let's see substring. Now you can see substring which is expecting int and substring which is expecting int comma int here. So with this particular int here, which is trying to work like element onwards, we want to copy the string object here. So same way, so one more here, so this will call here, so start and end here. Getting the point? Start and end here. Between these two elements here, we are going to copy the string object information here. Now it is trying to return the string object here. Okay. So this is all about the string buffer class. So any questions regarding this particular string buffer class? Because most of the methods are same what we discussed in our string class here. So if anyone having any questions, please let me know. Okay. So we don't have anything here. So I'm going to stop this the today class up to here. We'll continue tomorrow. Like in the tomorrow, so we are going to discuss the important concept called collection frameworks here. So once we completed the collection frameworks, we'll start for our Spring examples here. Okay. So I'm going to conclude the today class.